Stop doing tables 1, 2, 3. Tables 1, 2, 3. You are now invited to the buffet.
Welcome to the Wedding Songs Podcast, featuring newly released songs you need to know and the tried and true classics. Get song ideas from the time guests arrive until the last dance of the reception. And now your host, Matt Campbell, founder of MyWeddingSongs.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wedding Songs Podcast. I am Matt Campbell. You know, I released a wedding music letter recently that got a little bit of debate, and I'm going to decided to do a podcast about it, and that is releasing tables on the microphone. I'm not a fan of this, and I just wanted to give you some alternative ideas not to do so on the microphone. You know, one of the books I recently read is Unreasonable Hospitality. I really love this book. It really gives me a lot of ideas of how you can go above and beyond, even with the little moments. And I think one of those little moments is when you're releasing these tables. And instead of doing that on the microphone, I just wanted to give you 7 ideas of how you can do that while at the reception. So the first one is a song match game. A lot of couples have already been doing this, and I love this idea. The idea is that you put songs on the table, and then when the guests at that table hear their song, then they know, okay, I'm okay to go ahead and eat now. Of course, it may take a little announcement to each table of when they're going to be released, but not on the microphone. You could be done beforehand. It could be just by walking around telling each table, okay, when you hear your song, that's when you're going to be released to eat. But one of the tips I wanted to give for this is not only having the card on the table, but explain why it's special to you as the couple. Is it a group that you heard live at a concert? Is it a song that you heard while traveling on a road trip? You know, describe why that song is special to you instead of just having some random song on the table. Next up is, of course, everybody thinks of the round tables at receptions, or everybody sitting at these long tables. Well, what's trending right now is one continuous long table called a serpentine table. Think of a snake. And then what happens is it could be a plated dinner, and then the staff of the catering is just going to, instead of releasing people, you just go down the table, and then as you go from start to finish, starting with the wedding couple and the wedding party on, let's say, the left-hand side, then the least important people are down at the other end. Yeah, you're all important. But you know what? That way, everybody gets their food, and it's just one continuous line. There's no surprise, and there's no releasing. And that can also be done, of course, without the serpentine table. But, you know, just having that sit-down dinner, nobody's getting released to get up. One of my favorite ways for DJs to release tables, and this has been a debate in the DJ community, a lot of the people that I've talked to that are DJs say leave it up to the catering staff. They're the ones that are releasing the table. But you know what? Sometimes the catering staff isn't there to do that. The additional staff isn't there. And so sometimes you just have to take the bull by the horns, as they say. And one of the ways to do that is just to walk up to each table that you want to release and invite them to eat. You're welcome to head up when you're ready to the buffet. And it doesn't have to be the DJ. It could be the planner. It could be the venue manager. Whoever wants to take that right to do that, but just not having it on the microphone, I think that's a great idea. You're not just another table, and people are seeing you as a real person. Next up is a trivia game, number 4 on the list. So this is perfect for smaller weddings. I would not want to do this with 200 people, but what you could do is you could assign each table a fun trivia question, and once they get it right, then they are released to go to the buffet. Like an example might be, when did they get engaged? Where did they get engaged? What's their pet's name? It could be some harder ones, so that way everybody's not released at the same time. Or maybe with 25 people, it doesn't really matter if they're released at the same time. So just giving you another idea as a trivia game. Another one, it's a little take on the table dash or the photo dash. It's the photo prompt release. But what's interesting about this is it's not the wedding couple that's going from table to table to table. You're giving them a task that they have to complete to get released. And this could be on a table, or it could be as an individual task. So an example might be take a picture doing the best just married impression, or take a selfie with someone you didn't know before today. So that way you're interacting the crowd, they're getting to know each other instead of the introverts being at their own table, not really talking. You're involving them into your reception, and you're giving them fun tasks that they can do. Kind of like a fun scavenger hunt without being a scavenger hunt. Just give them fun tasks to do. If it's all assigned seating, so you know who the couples are, maybe they have to get a kiss, or they have to get a picture of them twisting their arms drinking. Just give them some fun tasks to do. Next up, number 6 is a champagne and call. So this is true hospitality. I love this one. So as tables wait to be released, servers can come by with mini gestures of course, it could be champagne, but it doesn't have to be champagne. It could be craft beer. It could be mocktails, Shirley Temple's, Roy Rogers. It could be bite-sized hors d'oeuvres. It could be handwritten thank you notes to every guest that's there. I love that idea. Guests are invited to the buffet after they've received these items. So you're just making it very personal and personalized to who you are. It doesn't have to be, something as personalized as a thank you note, but it could be something fun too. Really think outside of the box. You could throw it up into ChatGPT and say, this is the fun things we like to do. We like to go hiking. We like to go dancing on Saturday nights to 80s music. And then just ask ChatGPT to spit out a bunch of ideas. That's one of the fun things with AI, that you can get these fun ideas that are really outside of the box that match your personality. You get out of AI what you put into it. So the more details that you provide, the better results you're going to get. And the last one is roll the dice. And this is literally, everybody thinks of the big dice in your rearview mirrors back in the 80s and 90s. Just get these big dice on the tables, and you could say, okay, once you roll snake eyes, that's when you're released. And then that way you're just making it a fun game out of it. It could be a mini show that everybody looks forward to. And if you have people that aren't getting released, they're not rolling the snake eyes, then you could just walk around and just say, yeah, you can go to the buffet. It's up to you. We have the space for you now. So my challenge to you in this short podcast is just stop treating the buffet calls like background logistics. We want to be creative. We want to be personable. We want this to be an experience. These moments might seem small, but let me tell you, guests are going to feel seen. They're going to be delighted that you're doing something different, and they're going to be entertained by what you do. If you do one of the fun ideas, even waiting for dinner, you've got something creative and memorable that guests are going to be talking about for years to come. That's not just dinner service. That's just unreasonable hospitality in motion. If you have any unique ideas to release the tables for the reception, please let me know on any of our social media platforms, or we actually post all of our videos on YouTube at My Wed Songs. That's our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for next week for another episode of the Wedding Songs Podcast. I'm going to be releasing some awesome interviews, and make sure you tune in for that. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Wedding Songs Podcast. Never miss a future episode. Subscribe today to our podcast. Follow us on Facebook at My Wedding Songs, and send us a message about playlists you would like covered.